Mariupol under siege. Russian forces closing in on another major Ukrainian city after taking control of Kherson. Good morning. I'm Erica Hill in New York.
And I'm Jim Sciutto reporting from Lviv, Ukraine. Right now, just a dire situation in Mariupol. The deputy mayor there told CNN they have no power, water, or heat as Russian forces surround the city. In Kherson, the first major city to fall under Russian control, the mayor is now urging his people to follow orders from the Russian forces there. Citizens of that city tell our reporters it is, quote, a humanitarian disaster. And new video this morning shows massive explosions in the capital city of Kyiv, a fireball erupting and lighting up the night sky. And take a look at this. These are Russian military strikes that slammed into a school in Kharkiv. Officials say at least 34 civilians were killed yesterday as Russian forces pounded that city. And this morning, new images of an oil depot on fire after the area was shelled. Russia intensifying its air war as new satellite images out of the northern city of Chernihiv show homes on fire, buildings demolished, large bomb craters. All of this leading to an astronomical humanitarian crisis. At least 1 million Ukrainians, 1 million, have fled their country since the start of the invasion just 7 days ago. The UN says more than 750 civilians have died. This is what the Pentagon is saying when Russia intends a slow annihilation of this country. We're covering every angle of this breaking story as only CNN can. Our reporters and correspondents here throughout Ukraine, they're in Russia, they're in Belgium at NATO headquarters, as well as back home. Let's begin this morning with CNN senior national security correspondent Alex Marquardt. Alex, Kherson is the first major city in Ukraine to fall under Russian control. We're hearing from people on the ground there, severe lack of food and medicine. What's the latest that officials there are saying? Because they're saying the Russians have attempted at least to take over government control.
Right. They're saying that armed fighters have taken over the administration building. That's according to the mayor and another senior official from Kherson. And the mayor also saying that citizens should follow the orders of these fighters who are there. And this is all reminiscent of Crimea in 2014 when the so-called Little Green Men took over that and annexed the peninsula. So what we're seeing is, this city just north of the Crimean Peninsula now appears to be under Russian control. The Ministry of Defense in the UK says that the situation still is quite unclear, but the mayor is saying that there are no Ukrainian forces that are in that city. Now, the citizens who we have heard from, as you mentioned, Jim, they say that a humanitarian catastrophe is underway. They say that there is widespread looting by Russian troops. We've also seen video of residents of Kherson going up to these Russian troops and Russian vehicles waving Ukrainian flags, some of that fierce resistance from civilians that we have seen all across this country. Now, why is Kherson so critical? Because it is in the south, it is near Odessa. So this is an indication that the Russians may be trying to move to the west towards Odessa, which of course is that critical port city on the Black Sea. At the same time, we're also hearing that Russian forces and pro-Russian separatist forces are trying to surround the other southern major city of Mariupol, which is on the Sea of Azov. That, if they took that would help President Putin create this land bridge that would connect Crimea with Western Russia. So major moves by Russia on Ukraine's southern flank. Jim?
Seems to be the intent to take over the country, or much of it. Alex Marquardt in Kyiv, thanks so much. Also this morning, the mayor of the southern Ukrainian port city of Mariupol, he's warning of a near humanitarian catastrophe there as well. This after more than 24 hours straight of shelling by Russian forces, including of civilian areas there. CNN Pentagon correspondent Barbara Starr joins us now. Barbara, we'd like to talk about, and we have seen, tremendous defiance and resistance from Ukrainian forces, but when you look at the map, Russian forces are advancing, particularly in the southern part of the country. What is the Pentagon view of the progress of the Russian invasion?
Well, they are keeping a very sharp eye on this entire southern flank, as you say, Jim, because here seems to be the one area where the Russians are making clear progress. One of the big questions is, how are they doing that? One of the theories is, look at nearby Crimea. The Russians have been there since 2014, very well established in that area, and they may have the supply lines, the capabilities in Crimea that they can readily move not too far away to help support their troops that are engaging in this, southern flank offensive, if you think of it that way. Mariupol is a place where the U.S. also watching so carefully about the disaster unfolding there. Earlier this morning, CNN talked to the deputy mayor and got his views about what is happening on the ground.
Their style of war is to make humanitarian crisis. For example, we do not have electricity in whole city, we do not have water supply, we do not have sanitary system, and we do not have heating. Only natural gas supplement is left, and it continues for 1 day and a half. So we have continuous shelling for 26 hours. 26 hours they are destroying our city. So from all the weapons, from artillery, from airplane bombing, from tactical rockets, from multiple launch rocket system. So situation is very bad.
26 hours of continuous shelling by Russian forces. This is now what is of such dire and immediate concern. The Russian tactic, perhaps switching here to heavier weapons, heavier bombardment, continuous bombardment, and the concern that this is going to start happening, if it's not already, in other parts of Ukraine. The Russians going for the most dire, dark, heavy-handed combat tactics that they have. A lot of concern about how long the Ukrainian people will be able to hold out. Jim?
Yeah, with no apparent concern for civilian lives and possible intent to create terror among civilians. Barbara Starr at the Pentagon, thank you. To that point, we do have some disturbing new videos coming in from the streets of Ukraine. This from the city of Chernihiv, just to the northeast of the capital, Kiev. This is a dash cam camera capturing massive explosions. Have a watch. To be clear, that's a civilian area. We do know an oil depot, bridges, factories have also been destroyed by that bombardment in the city. And then in Kyiv, the capital, new video shows the damage from a powerful blast. This one near the Central Railway Station. Remember, that's a place a lot of folks trying to flee the country have been using to get out. The explosion hit the Pivnichna train station just 700 feet from Kiev's main central station. Video, which we should note, has been verified by CNN. Geolocation, timing shows the damaged platform there. Ukrainian officials say that thousands of women and children were being evacuated from that station when that strike occurred. A major heating pipeline also damaged in the attack. Well, the train station attack underscores what is an increasingly perilous journey for refugees as they flee in droves from Ukraine for safety. The UN says that just 1 week since the start of the invasion, more than 1 million people have left this country. For perspective, it took 3 months for 1 million Syrians to leave that country in 2013. Just 1 week, 1 million people. CNN's Scott McLean joins me now. Scott, so most of these folks trying to go east, they're trying to go to Poland, to Hungary, to the Czech Republic. I wonder, are those countries prepared to receive, and are they willing to receive all these people?
Willing, yes. It is difficult to imagine any country on earth, though, being able to absorb this kind of influx so quickly. I mean, we're talking about 1 million people, and as you said, they're only going, by and large, to a handful of countries. So Czech Republic, for instance, doesn't even border Ukraine, and it's just declared a state of emergency in order to deal with the influx. The other problem is they don't know how many more there will be and how long they will stay. The UN High Commissioner for Refugees says that there could be millions more if the fighting doesn't actually stop. If there is good news, and trust me, there is not much, it's that it seems like it's getting much easier for people to get out of the country. We're not seeing the long lineups at borders that we were seeing early on. I mean, it might still take you a couple of hours to get through by car, but if you're going by foot, probably not nearly as long. And so that is undoubtedly good news. At the train station here in Lviv as well, things are also getting more streamlined, though obviously there's still a steady stream of people. It is by and large women and children. Most of the foreigners, from what we could tell, have been cleared out already. I did spot one man in line yesterday, and he caught my eye, obviously, because there are so few of them. And I asked him why he was there. And he's a Ukrainian citizen of fighting age, and he wasn't there to try to get on the train. He was there just to spend a little bit more time with his wife and daughter that he was leaving behind, just to really soak up every last moment. And they had an emotional moment. He walked them right up to the door of the train. I mean, it's emotional, obviously, because he doesn't know when he's going to see them again. Here's what he said.
This is war, and for me it's better that they will be safe. And that's why I have another feelings, because I have to understand that they are in safety.
It is very difficult. I don't feel any emotions. I hope I will come back. I don't think it is going to be for a long time. I think everything is going to be fine. We will win, I believe.
Героям слава!
And that chant that you heard there at the end in Ukrainian, it says, "Glory to Ukraine, glory to heroes." That man, by the way, this morning his plan was to go and enlist in the military. Just this morning, he's planning to stay in Lviv and then be deployed from here.
You know, I saw one of these tearful goodbyes on the street here this morning in Lviv. I saw a man saying goodbye to his family in tears as well, and you have to imagine it's being duplicated many hundreds, thousands of times over. Scott McLean, thanks.